Isn't it big, bro?
She's looking at Cleo like, I don't know about that. Why do you?
My dad would. The world's greatest detective is found holding a quart of Oz coin.
She's below. She knows. She's starting to get used to haircuts now, Cleo.
That's what got him killed.
Oh, and now you want us to end up just like him?
No.
Are you ready for your haircut now? From Miss Cleo.
Come on.
Terrible idea. The difference is service. We got records of all these cases.
I never saw any journals in the house.
Because they're in there. They're in his office, in Main Tower, in a secret compartment. We have to break in to get them.
Yeah, that's definitely a generational thing, Miss Cleo.
Because
People that I've asked that were born in like the 90s.
Where's that little one at?
She's below you. I think. Oh, yeah, she's below the chair. So people who were born in the 90s have no clue who Miss Cleo is. Even people that were born pre-80s have no clue who she is until I show them the commercial and they're like, oh yeah, that's Miss Cleo. Miss Cleo, call me now for your free reading. I didn't even ask you, do you remember those commercials?
Mm-hmm.
You do? He's talking about, can we please call, it's free. Call her now for your free reading. I think it's funny that Sabia's cat is Creole, like, because she's Creole, from New Orleans. And ours is Cleo, and they're both black cats. Can you imagine if you had two cats together named Cleo and Creole? They would both think that that was their name. The same name. She's like, what's going on? What's going on? So now I got to thinking, does the straw have two holes or one? It has two sides, but
It has two ends.
Two ends, but one continuous hole.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's a trick question, right?
Yeah.
Does a straw have two holes or one? You know what? I should get the camera. Or not the camera. The microphone right now. I'm gonna get a microphone. Okay, so I ended up grabbing the microphone, and this is the first time I've used a microphone while cutting hair, and I'll be honest, I'm just not a fan of how the quality turned out, because you're gonna hear the sound go in and out. You're gonna hear my voice, but the clipper sound is just off, so I apologize for that. So I do a number 2 on his whole top, and I typically cut his hair using the fast speed clipper. And with the fast speed, I find that I really like this clipper because it's a really quiet clipper, but I just have to go over his hair continuously. He has really extremely fine hair. He has a lot of it, but the strands are very fine. It's like no matter how many times you go over it, you keep hearing pieces that cut.
Hey. Cat's trying to get to the plants.
Yeah, I know. That's why I hid the plants. But when Cleo gets a little bigger, Cleo is our small kitten. Right now she's only 8 weeks old, so she's pretty small, and cats tend to really like houseplants. So she's really curious, trying to get into some of the houseplants I got.
What you getting into over there?
Same shit she was getting. Yeah. So with straight hair like this, you do want to cut against the grain also. We had these people that were in training a few years back when I was working in the barber shops, and they were used to going along the grain for wavelength or curly hair. And with straight hair like this, if you want it to cut, never go along the grain, always go against it, meaning against the way that the hair grows.
Just push it down, gee. Yeah.
What'd you say?
Snowing in here.
It's snowing in here. You have a lot of dandruff.
It really doesn't get anywhere. It's just when you do this, it's when it starts coming out.
Yeah, but you probably don't spend a lot of time scrubbing and massaging your scalp, do you, when you wash it? Do you use shampoo in your scalp or soap?
Every other time.
Every what?
Every other time I take a shower, I use shampoo.
Do you just use like a
Usually
bar of
just use
soap on it?
Yeah. Not very long.
No, but your skin is still there. And what you're doing is you're drying out your skin, so that's why you have...
Cleo, hey.
Let me grab this kitten here. She gets all tangled in. You want to say hi? Thinking she'd make a squeaky noise underneath you. So yeah, what you're doing, why your dandruff is so bad is because you're not moisturizing your scalp and you're just using shampoo and or soap. So you're just using a cleaning product and you're not adding any moisture to it or stimulating your scalp by scrubbing it. So that's why that happens. So even if you don't have much hair, you still have to condition your skin. It's like if we were just to use soap on our bodies continuously and never use lotion, we're going to start to get dry and flaky. And we don't want that. I guess I can move you guys in closer too. See more what I'm doing? That would help. You hear that? You can actually hear it cutting and working. Cleo, get out of the cords. Sorry, guys. He keeps getting in the cords. Here, take the cat.
Oh.
Lift your... Won't be much longer we'll be able to hold her with one hand. We have a special guest. She'll get used to it. She keeps getting in the cords.
Trying to put her down.
This is a number 1 guard, and I have a 1 guard, and I actually have a 0 guard too. This comes with the Andis magnetic guards, which fit the fast speeds, which are nice. I love a good magnetic guard. But the 0 guard is almost like that in between from a 1 and the half when you just open up your blade there. It's just like a nice buffer guard to have when you're doing fades like this. I've given Will the same haircut, pretty much the exact same haircut ever since, what, 2015? Was when I started cutting your hair. The beginning of 15. Maybe even the end of 14. When did you start going to the first barbershop that I met you at?
Probably the end of 14.
End of 14. So yeah, long time. And we started dating very shortly after we met. So I did already go in with that 0 guard, the 0 guard, and now I'm just got my blade opened up here, and I'm using that to blend out the dark line. I have worked as a barber / stylist. I've been licensed since 2007, and then I've just kind of been cutting just friends and family from home ever since the pandemic happened. And I've worked in many shops with many different people, and I've found that people cut differently. Everybody cuts differently. There's no, I guess there could be a wrong way to cut, but there are many different right, quote-unquote, right ways to cut. Results are all that matters. If you have to keep going over something back and forth, that's fine. Then do it that way. Some people, they're a one-hit wonder and they can just hit everything with each guard and be done in 10 minutes, and to them that's the perfect haircut, and that's fine. Other people, it may take a little longer. So I say whatever you find your niche, however you say that. Whatever your groove is, stick with it. And don't let anybody tell you that there's only one certain way to cut, because there are many different ways to cut. Sure, there are ways that are not the best, but there's not just one correct way. I used to work for this. Here comes Miss Cleo.
I'm gonna mess with the cord.
Yeah, she's a kitten, so she wants to get into everything.
But when the light's on over there, she won't go over it.
You're not gonna be getting into all these cords. Oh, you're getting chubby. Mwah. You guys can still hear me. I'm just gonna put her over here. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. You're going on the kitty tower. Little girl, you've only been with us for 8 days and you're already getting a little chubby chub. I love it. Alright, let's finish this haircut. He also has, which is really common, I've seen this in a lot of people, we call them his hot dog moles in the back there, but with divots like this, and some people, they have a whole bunch of different lines in their heads, creases that look like a road map. I just dig in a little bit deeper, not dig in, but you gotta kind of push them out to get that hair in between. You're never going to erase that line because that's just a part of his head, but just going over it like this is not going to cut that hair in between. You do have to get in between those cracks there, creases. Okay, now this next clipper here is my Andis. It's technically a T trimmer, but I don't have the T blades on it. I switched out the blade for a regular trimmer blade. The T blade hangs out longer and it's shaped like a T, so it's more like that on it, but obviously not that long. I'm not a big fan of the T trimmer. The T trimmer part, I think that it's a lot more maintenance. I like this blade a lot better. So it's personal preference. Some people, they love the T trimmer. They feel like they can get in easier, work with it better, get better curvier lines, or whatever their reason is. I just don't. I prefer this one over the other one. I believe Andis came out with a cordless T trimmer a few years ago. I remember somebody I knew had purchased it. I don't remember how good it was. I don't love cordless clippers and trimmers. I do have one cordless trimmer I kind of like. Is that one? I think it's a Wall. Yeah, it's the Wall 5-star detailer, the Wall detailer. This is a pretty good cordless trimmer, but you can also use it with the cord. I just don't like how loud it is compared to this one. So this kind of gets to like a... I have these blades really tight together. It's probably even tighter than a 5 o'clock shadow would be. So it's more like a 3 o'clock shadow, 2 o'clock shadow. That's how I would... Very tight blade. It's almost bald. I'm just going back in with the no guard closed. And I feel that I love the fast feeds, but you do have to continue to go over it and over it and over it, because you'll still hear little pieces cutting. And as I'm going up like this motion instead of like that, because I'm trying to blend that out. Very simple semi-bald fade. He doesn't necessarily like the box shaver that I use on a lot of my clients. He doesn't like this on his edges. Which it just keeps you smooth for a day. On the next day, you're to a 5 o'clock shadow. I do line up his line here because his hairline is uneven and he has just some sparse hairs that grow. So keep your eyes closed. I'm just gonna brush this. One thing I know for sure is you should definitely ask people before you line them up. Don't just go lining people up. Not everybody likes that. Some people, they expect you to. So just always ask if you do a shorter haircut like this. When I first started cutting hair, because I had gone to cosmetology school when I was in high school, I never even heard of a lineup. I didn't know what that was. That wasn't the hairstyles that I grew up around. I had no idea. And when somebody had first asked me to line them up, I didn't know what they meant. And fortunately, another person that I was working with came over and she really helped me out and showed me what to do. Now I can line people up nice and crispy. There you go. Yeah, so these trimmers are probably the best for doing a lineup. And then if you wanted to go in with a straight razor afterwards to get it extra crispy, you can do that. Big thing that I noticed with working with other barbers is I would do a lot of the shampooing when I had worked with a lot of barbers, and some of the guys, they didn't feel comfortable shampooing other guys' hair. Or not just that, I would do a more sensual, better, longer job than they would, so they would request me to shampoo their hair for them, which I love doing. But I would notice a lot of the times people would forget hair on the neck, and so I'll just always, when you're done, I like to fold the cape over and kind of tuck it in right there. Just check the neckline, that's all. So I'll be standing behind a guy in church, and I can notice he's got a really nice fade, but then hair's on his neck. And it just does not look good. So make sure you always get those, and double check. Another area that is commonly missed is right behind the ear here. Which Will knows I've missed plenty of hairs behind his ear in the past. So I just kind of pull it down, check, because these hairs grow straight down. Pretty good. Double checking. But I would notice that a lot when I would shampoo for barbers, is that hair was missed behind the ear and on the neckline, because they're trying to be quick and not efficient. Very good. Yes, I'm going to do your face. It's like ASMR for you guys. Will has a very thick beard, but he also has very straight hair. And I apologize, I'm not very good at explaining how to do things. I'm not good at doing tutorials. So my best advice is what my father told me. And that's repetition is the mother of mastery. The more you do something, the better you'll get at it. And just because you're not good at something doesn't mean you won't eventually get good. But you have to start to get good eventually. So repetition, the more you do something, the better you will become at it. And if one way isn't working for you, try another way. Try another way. The most important thing is that the outcome is what you want and what the client wants. So results are all that matter, and repetition is the mother of mastery. And none of that is my own advice. That's all advice that was given to me from someone else. Okay. Take a deep breath. Brush that off and check pieces that I missed because nobody's perfect. You're definitely going to miss pieces. Always, always double check. There's a lot of times because this is Will, he is my husband, and oftentimes, unfortunately, he'll get like not necessarily the best quality haircut from me, and I'll just rush through him real quick, like a 12-15 minute haircut, and him and I will be sitting at dinner or somewhere or driving, and I'll be looking and noticing that I miss pieces. So
Mm-hmm.
Very important, always double check. That looks good. Okay, check your edges, make sure there's no like long ones. Tongue out to check around his lips.
They're good.
They're good. Wow. He has so much. I think you have more hair on your face than you do your head. You've got an incredible beard. He's able to grow like a full-blown beard. Santa Claus is jealous.
Santa Claus's beard, because it's white.
Yeah. Okay. So I will get a close-up for you guys. Yeah. Number 2 on the top, and just that triple 0 on the sides trimmer, and then that's how we do his lineup. Very nice and light. All his tattoos. Alright, baby, you are all set.
Sweet.
Sweet, he says. Thanks for watching this video. We'll see you in the next one.